like Syria, where even the language of the highest leaders in this land are being used by terrorists and others to advance their cause. We need to be a country that has that bipartisan approach to say we are a nation, not at war with Islam, but at war with terrorists. We are a nation that welcomes Islam, that Islam has been here as a part of America since before we were even the United States of America. And so I just want to reaffirm my commitment to you to be one of those people that's going to fight to somehow, across the chasm of our country, unite this nation again in accordance with our ideals. And I want to end with you with what I think was a great moment of our founders. You know, Thomas Jefferson, again, was an imperfect human being. But when he wrote the Declaration of Independence, what I love is that he ended the Declaration of Independence with what I think is one of humanity's greatest declarations of interdependence. He seemed to understand that we can't ever allow our nation to just be a nation of tolerance. I think that tolerance is a toxic state of being that weakens the tolerator. It's sort of saying that, hey, we're different in this country, and I'm just stomaching your right to be different, but if you disappear off the face of the earth, I'm no worse off or no better off. America was not called by its founders to be a nation of tolerance. We were a nation called to be a nation of love that recognizes the dignity of all humanity. When you're a nation of love, you don't see someone as the other. You see them as essential to your dignity, essential to your humanity, essential to your success. Tolerance crosses streets. Love confronts. Tolerance couldn't care less. Love couldn't care more. Tolerance builds fences and walls. Love tears them down and crosses boundaries. Love says, I see your value, I see your worth, and love understands that if you fail, I'm bereft of your talent and your gifts, that if your children don't succeed, my children suffer as a result. I say all this to get back to Jefferson's writings, which are powerful in the context of lawyers who too swear an oath. I bring it up because at the end of the Declaration of Independence, he said, if we're going to be a nation of the highest ideals of humanity, if we're going to be a nation that makes it in the long run, like the old African saying that if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. We must love one another and have an unusual commitment to each other. Because clearly religion is not what we're based on. We gotta have a bond that is deeper than that. Clearly race, national origin, all of these things that often tie people together, that's not enough. This nation of ideals has got to have a deeper connection. It's got to be a love and an almost irrational commitment to each other. And so how does he end the Declaration of Independence? He says, in order for all of this to work, in order for this country to be great, we must mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. And that's what I call to you right now. We will struggle in this body, and it is imperfect, the people that are sent down here, perhaps more imperfect than the founders of our nation. And we will fail down here like we did today and damage the very institutions that we are a part of. I saw that today. But what is our salvation in this body? What what is the hope of the Senate and the House and the White House and the Supreme Court? What's the hope? Before I hang my hopes on this government, before I hang my hopes on even my capacity to prove worthy of the title I hold, I hang my hope on the American people. This Senate has let my family down. It's let my ancestors down. Strom Thurmond holding the Senate floor, raging on against civil rights. This Senate has let the American people down. Men standing in common cause against women's suffrage. This body has let the American people down. I could go generation after generation where this body has not lived up to the ideals of love and the principles that I'm willing to die for. But the salvation of this place has always been the larger people. Irrational folks who pledge their lives and their fortunes and their sacred honor. Who fought for immigration rights when this place failed. Who fought for workers' rights when this place failed. Who fought for civil rights when this place failed. Who didn't care about race or religion. Goodman, Cheney, Schwerner, Black, and Jewish were really willing to die together for rights we now take for granted. When this institution was failing them, they stood up and gave their lives and their fortunes and their sacred honor. I understand where change happens in America. Change does not come from Washington, it comes to Washington. So now more than ever, we need a people that are ready and willing to resist and to fight and to stand up for their country and to not let it get perverted by fear or bigotry or hate, but to stand up for America, the country of love and grace and goodness and decency and mercy. Don't let our culture change. Don't let our light dim. Don't let the torch held by Lady Liberty bend. I'll end with James, with Langston Hughes, who knew that this country was dependent upon citizens like you and me, that knew that the power of the people is always greater than the people in power, that knew that the civic gospel, like any religious one, is dead. Faith without works is dead. That knew we as a people had to swear an oath to each other that we would live by the oath we swear with our lips that we would be a nation with liberty and justice for all. So I end with his words. When he said in that poem at the end, "Oh, let America be America again. The land that never has been yet, but yet must be the land where everyone is free. The poor man, the Indian, the Negro, me, and who made America? Whose sweat and blood, whose faith and pain, whose hand at the foundry, whose plow in the rain, must make our mighty dream live again. Oh yes, I say it plain. America never was America to me, but I swear this oath, America will be." Let us swear that oath, that to the immigrant, to the asylum seeker, to the refugee, to the persecuted, to the hurt, to the wounded, that we will be America, that we will be the land of hope and love, that we will be the symbol, and if we swear that oath and do the work, as dark as this time is in our country, as much as powerful people threaten our cultures from city to city, from sea to sea, I am confident we will not lose. I am confident our nation will rise. I am confident that the torch held by Lady Liberty will reign high and true again. Thank you.